So you've decided on who you want to see, what you want to get, whether it's a healing or a reading or a combination of those things, and you've booked your appointment. So I guess from us, what are some of the things that we would love for our clients to do before they come and see us the first time?
I think having that conversation with your spirit guides before you go about these are the things I want to talk about, these are the things I want answers on, asking them to show up. You can also ask them not to bring certain things up, but they won't necessarily listen to that. But yeah, just and having that open mind to receive whatever information it is that they're giving you, whether you're going to like it or not like it.
Mm-hmm. Get some idea of who you want to hear from, but also maybe just run through your family's name list and think about who's gone in and who you might want to hear from. Ask them to come through if you want to hear from them. Doesn't mean that they're going to, because if they were very private in life, they may not come through to you in a reading. And knowing who you know is important, because it's nothing worse than being in the middle of reading and not being able to remember, who John was, and it turns out it was your favorite uncle.
Yeah.
Right? And then you feel really bad. So we don't want that to happen either.
Yeah. And that's more specific to like mediumship readings, right? Because if you're getting a tarot reading, you wouldn't necessarily get that coming through.
And I think too, like, to have questions for your healer or your reader prepared ahead of time. So it kind of like going to the doctor. There's a lot of things that you're wanting to look at, or even one specific thing that you're wanting to look at different angles. To have a list prepared, so that way when you're going in, you have this direction as to where you want to go. Because I know sometimes for myself and for a lot of my clients, you get there and you start to hear all this information, and then your mind is just kind of gone, and you're like, I had questions for you.
I really did.
And that's where those questions go. So to get the most out of it, to have those questions, or if you don't quite understand the healing that you're going in for, to have questions for the practitioner about what can you expect, what does the healing entail, what are the after effects of the healing, that sort of thing.
And even, there's so many resources online too, right? So you can always Google a certain technique and see how it is. And like you said, scroll through a Facebook page and see reviews, and you can get a feel for how that person works.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is checking your expectations. Because let's face it, there's the answers that we want to hear, or the results that we want to see. And then there's what's actually for our highest good, and those things don't always line up. So understanding that, yes, I have certain expectations, and we all walk into things that way, but understanding that I need to kind of keep those in check and allow for this session to be what it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think a really important thing to remember when you're going for any kind of session like this is at the end of the day, you have free will, and you're coming in and you're going to be given information that you can choose to use or not use, and you really have to do what's right for you at the end of the day. And I think that's really key. If you leave a session and you don't feel comfortable with what was said, that probably means you shouldn't be taking that advice, because it's not the right time or the right advice for you. And also make sure that the person that you've seen has been doing things for your highest good.
Yeah, because the other thing too is we all work from our perspective. As much as we're channeling from a higher source, it comes through with our perspective on it. So maybe my language doesn't make sense to you, Catherine, right? But if you hear it from, or if you write it down and look at it at a different angle, you go, oh, that makes a little bit more sense. So exploring the words and the playing with the words a little bit, I think, is important too if you're having trouble with it.
Yeah.
I think also one of the things you need to think about is how long it's been since your last reading.
That's a good one.
Because I like to tell people 6 months is a good guide. If there's been a lot going on, I might see someone at 4, but I wouldn't see anyone. I wouldn't see anyone on a monthly basis or weekly basis. And if somebody's suggesting that, unless you're going for reflexology,